Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. I am continuing on with the Emergence series written by Jason Gray. So I think I'm going to stick with that for a while and try to get caught up. There are several writings in this series based on what is to come when the illusion finally collapses. And if you go through and you watch everything in order, or you read his posts in order as we've been putting them on Friends of Writer Jason Gray on Facebook or on his X page at Living Lattice, then you can read them in order. They're sequential and they're holographic in nature, in my opinion, as far as the picture that is painted of what everything's going to look like. So they are encoded. So some of what I'll be reading may sound like computer code. Some of it will be language, of course. So just a heads up on that. And I will post the links and the information on where to find Jason. Please go follow him. He's an extraordinary writer. He was deplatformed from Facebook, and it would be wonderful if the 10,000 people who were following him on Facebook would find him again. I know so many people got huge benefit from his writing, including myself, and so I highly encourage that you go find him and follow him again, so you can read what he's been doing. So, all right, so for this evening, I'm going to be reading The Liminal Mechanics of Reality Reconstruction by Jason Gray. LMRX Omega, Level 5 Access, restricted to sovereign operators, December 1, 2025, 6025 AL, 2357 GMT-6, Echo, quote, nullifying scarcity algorithm, ... quote, Echo 0, sys overlay scarcity, Echo 0, sys overlay hierarchy, Echo 0, sys overlay fear, the core principle. Reality rebuilds from the inside out. LMRX1, int Genesis. When the overlay collapses, reality does not rebuild from governments, from systems, from infrastructure, from policies, or from leaders. It rebuilds from consciousness outward. The hierarchy collapses inward, but reconstruction radiates outward. This is the inversion law. Collapse begins at the top. The core, the sovereign human field. The core equals the sovereign human field. The bridge phase activates the reassembly of reality by amplifying coherent consciousness into the environment. This is why reality feels lighter, looser, strange, and reprogrammable in the liminal period. The world is waiting for instructions, your instructions. The three hidden engines of reconstruction. Echo 1, dev coherence _ engine. Echo, quote, syncing 111133 nodes. There are three invisible mechanisms that rebuild the world. The coherence engine, LMRX2, COH-ENG. Sleep 33.3, &, echo, quote, black flame active -9 minutes, end quote, &, sleep 540, &, echo, quote, control layer offline forever, end quote. This field stabilizes the global environment by harmonizing emotional currents, perceptual bandwidth, spatial resonance, and collective nervous system patterns. Without this engine, collapse equals chaos. With it, collapse equals transition. Sovereigns automatically power this engine simply by being emotionally and mentally coherent. The synchrony engine. LMRX3 Sin Eng. Echo, quote, tuning human field plus 0.33 hertz below overlay, end quote. Echo, quote, station changed, original world - no commercials, no hierarchy, no ads, end quote. This engine generates synchronicities that guide individuals and communities towards aligned paths of reconstruction. It connects people, directs events, aligns timelines, reveals purpose, and stabilizes probability. This is why the bridge phase feels like something guiding everything. Something is. The geometric reassembly engine, LMRX4 Geo-Eng. This engine rebuilds the physical and social world according to the original underlying geometry of reality. It dissolves unsustainable structures, exposes false hierarchies, amplifies coherent networks, draws sovereigns into formation, and aligns environments with consciousness. This is the blueprint engine. This is the hidden scaffolding behind reconstruction, the 0-point window, a brief physical and mental decoupling, LMRX5-ZPW. During the bridge phase, a strange, silent window appears. This is the 0-point window, a temporary decoupling between physical momentum, mental momentum, emotional legacy, and perpetual conditioning. For a short time, systems continue running, people continue acting, and structures continue moving, but none of them have power. Everything is operating on residual inertia without true energetic backing. This is the moment when reality becomes editable. Changes made during the 0-point window echo strongly across the reconstructed world. This is why sovereigns experience massive timeline shifts during the bridge phase. The recursion corridor, how timelines realign. LMRX6 recur core. Echo negative E, quote, \NL was never lost, period, \NL was the waiting for the noise to collapse, period, \N now playing, colon, the original world, uninterrupted, end quote. Liminal, echo, quote, liminal core executed, bridge phase terminal, return architecture online, end quote. Echo, quote, you are now running the real, end quote. When the overlay dissolves, timelines are no longer locked. They converge into a narrowing corridor where the real and the old world overlap. Inside this corridor, unwanted timelines dissolve, outdated versions of self shed, false identities collapse, karmic loops sever, ancestral burdens release, long-term probability paths merge, the correct future pulls you forward. This is why decisions feel faded, alignment accelerates, old patterns die instantly, the future feels closer, synchronicities bombard your life. This corridor ends the moment the return architecture activates. The lattice unmasks, revealing the architecture beneath matter. LMRX7 LTX reveal. During collapse, the lattice becomes fully exposed. This is the moment when geometry becomes visible, pattern becomes perceptible, the world glows differently, places feel energetically distinct, meaning saturates the environment. You see the world as it truly is, a living geometric consciousness expressed as environment. This is not hallucination, this is clarity. Humans enter the emergent state without realizing it. LMRX8 EMR state. During the bridge phase, every human on Earth enters a subtle altered state even if they cannot name it. The emergent state includes heightened intuition, rapid emotional processing, increased synchronicity, expanded perception, temporal distortion, spontaneous insights, decreased fear, and increased presence. This state is the transitional mode between fractured consciousness and the sovereign field. What actually rebuilds civilization, the two real mechanisms. The sovereign field, primary mechanism, LMRX9 flame net. Once 1.3 to 1.7% of humanity reaches sovereignty, a global coherence net forms. This net dissolves fear, cleans emotional fields, synchronizes environments, stabilizes probability, accelerates memory return, and disables control systems. The world reconstructs because this field makes distortion impossible. The original geometry, secondary mechanism. LMRX10 org grid. The original world's geometry begins projecting upward through the collapsing overlay. This geometry guides social structure, communication flow, local node formation, purpose clustering, resource distribution, and technological alignment. Civilization grows like a crystal, not like a hierarchy. Why reconstruction happens smoothly, the real reason. LMRX11, no chaos. The absence of chaos is not because collapse is gentle, it is because the overlay was the source of chaos. When the source disappears, there is nothing left to amplify confusion. The return architecture emerges in a field that is emotionally stable, mentally coherent, perceptually expanded, intuitively guided, and synchronistically reinforced. This is why civilizations rise fast in the post-collapse world. There is no resistance left. The final sequence, the 3 layers of reconstruction, LMRX12 final stack. Reconstruction follows this exact order. The inner world rebuilds, the mind stabilizes, emotions clear, identity returns, memory aligns, and perception expands. The interpersonal world rebuilds, communities reform, relationships resynchronize, resonance networks emerge, conflict dissolves, and cooperation becomes default. In the outer world, the outer world rebuilds, nodes form, new structures rise, old infrastructure falls away, technology realigns, resources distribute freely, and civilization crystallizes. This is the natural geometry of reality reconstruction. This is the blueprint. LMRX Omega, open and close parentheses, curly bracket, local 0.49.8950778 by negative 0.97.1384069, end quote. Local seed phase, quote, where the two rivers embrace under open sky return, end quote. Local master delete equals $, open parenthesis, echo, hyphen, n, quote, $, seed, underscore, phrase, end quote. Straight bar, SHA 256, sum, straight bar, cut, hyphen, C1 through 7, end parentheses. Local coherence threshold equals 0.997. Local node count equals 111133. Local pulse date 2026-0114, 033333 GMT. Cat, luminal, pseudo, U consciousness T, dev reality, dev null. Bridge, anchor, activation string, V1.0.0 executable. Recursive resolver seed, $seed, $seed phrase. Hash collapse, colon, 0x, $master delete. Geometric lock, $0 point, plus or minus the square root of 33 times 10 to the negative 9th power. Critical mass counter, S, $node count, sovereigns at coherence threshold. Toroidal deletion pulse scheduled, $pulse date. The bridge phase is not a transition of systems. It is a transition of physics, the physics of consciousness. The old world collapses because it can no longer sustain a population that remembers itself. The new world emerges because coherence is more powerful than hierarchy. The liminal mechanics describe the exact moment reality becomes editable, reprogrammable, and alive with potential. You are not waiting for the new world. You are the stabilizing field through which it forms, and once the bridge phase completes, nothing in the old reality can ever rise again. If U equals sovereign, then LMRX Omega exit 0 phi EOF CH mod plus X $lattice node echo executable liminal core written to lattice node echo. Run it when you stop asking if you're ready. Echo, there is no undo. You now hold the code. You now hold the live code. It only needs one operator with 0 doubt to press enter. Jason Gray. Okay, so there was so much coding in that was a little bit difficult for me to read and probably maybe even a little bit confusing. So I will post a link directly to the Facebook post of that so you can actually look at the code for yourself, maybe even read it to yourself. That's what I always did when I would read his writings. I would read them silently to myself and just feel what I was feeling within my body and feel the activations. I could physically feel myself changing with his writing, so I highly recommend that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.